Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Couch Coaches. I'm John Lazaron, and as always, joined by the great Richard, the bandwagon laddie. Richard, mate, well, we've had a 1 week off of Warriors rugby league. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit of FOMO at the moment?
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange weekend actually. It was my birthday weekend, and it's often the highlight of my birthday weekend. It often falls on the long weekend, and I get to sit back on a. It's often a Sunday afternoon, watch the Wars. But yeah, there was definitely a real empty feeling over the weekend with no Warriors on. Felt a little bit lonely, but 2 points is 2 points, as they say, and we'll take that, and it's holding on to our 13th on the ladder. It's looking pretty congested there, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's something we've been saying for a while over the last few weeks. That the one thing about this season that's different is that there's been a lot because of the many upsets that have been happening. Pretty much every round there's at least one upset, if not two or three, and that's why the ladder's so congested. I mean, we're on 13th place with how many points? 11, is it? 11 or 13 points?
13 points, yeah.
13 points, and I think that the five teams above us are all on 14. So
Yeah.
it makes you realize how, and we said this as well earlier in the season, is that how important points differential is going to be when it comes down to deciding the top 8.
Well, like you look at as I said before, the 5 teams in front of us: the Dragons, Knights, Cowboys, Bulldogs, and Roosters. So I mean, we're gonna have to rely on at least I'd say 3 of them will probably drop off. Likely the Dragons, the Knights, obviously winning a few games, but I think they showed their true colours on the weekend. Going down to the Bulldogs by 30 points, and the Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, they're just one of those teams that can probably beat everyone in the comp, but could just as easily lose to anyone in the comp. Shout out to them for beating the Roosters without those 6 key players on the weekend. It was pretty wild. Even though it was 5 games, I still got to watch a little bit, and there was a couple of wild results. The Dragons over the Panthers in particular, and obviously
the game.
Yeah, it was. That was
a good game.
It was hard fought win from the Dragons, and they just took it out of their hands in the end.
Well, it also shows you how conditions can change things, because the conditions were awful in Penrith. And was it in Penrith or I can't remember if it was in St. George home ground. I think it was a Penrith home game, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Yeah, I just can't remember whether it was at Blue Bear or
actually
Wollongong. But they're both similar region, not Wales.
Yeah, basically, I remember watching the game. The weather was appalling. It's like you're playing in New Zealand winter, but stuff. They're having a bit of rain over there. But no, you're right. They're doing us a big favor, those teams. But I think, like you said yourself, the Knights showed their true colors against the Bulldogs. I wouldn't say it was because the Bulldogs were exceptional. I just thought the Knights were just flipping horrendous. They were, and I honestly think that I've been saying that the Sharks, quite big pretenders, and they are showing their true colors now in the last few games as well. In that sense, they're proving me right there. But I think the Knights are in that category as well. I think they're a team that think they can do it, but they don't know how to gel. They've got stars in their team, and they got guys that can can do some damage there. But I think they're it's a team that just doesn't know how to gel together. And honestly, some of the stuff that happened on that game was just horrendous. It was actually embarrassing to watch. So I think so. Yeah.
With the Sharks, just quickly, obviously their first equal on the ladder, still got 20 points.
Yeah.
They have lost 2 games in a row. Coming off losses to the Eels and I remember who they lost 2 weeks ago. Panthers, been smoked. Do you have them still making the 8? I know you're quite declared pretenders. They've got a couple of tough games coming out. Got Broncos, Dolphins, Bulldogs. Bulldogs. You think they should take down. No Nico Hines this weekend for the Broncos game. But they'd only have to lose probably 2 or 3 more games, and other teams to sort of creep up. Do you have them making the 8?
I still think that they've probably got they're probably. When I say favorites, I mean they're in. I'll have them in my top 8 just because of the fact that they've had a great first 10 rounds, 9 or 10 rounds or so, and because they're up 20 points, and because the ladder is so congested, and you don't know what's going to happen every week. I think. With a few more wins, maybe 2 or 3 more wins, they probably should have enough to make at least make the top 8 somewhere. if not 8.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they still will make the top 8, but I still think they're pretenders, big time pretenders, and I thought the Roosters, to be honest, were the team to be, you know, like they would be the ones to be, you know, everyone you need to follow. But they had some couple of good games, and then all of a sudden they seem to drop off the pace a bit. Or is it the other teams are catching up? What is it?
Yeah, it's hard to know. Obviously, Tedesco being a late out's never going to be good for your team. He's obviously been playing some good footy and getting the call up to Origin, much to Queensland's disgust from if social media is anything to go by. But a lot of Queensland great is absolutely appalled by New South Wales' decision to pull him in, and Billy Slater's getting in on it. You know, saying we wouldn't have dropped him in the first place. So nice to see a little bit of friendly banter going on before Origin 1 tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, you're like this then, because I mean, I'm a Queensland supporter through and through, as you know, and you're New South Wales. But I thought all that sort of stuff from Queensland was pretty stupid. I mean, what he's supposed to do? They picked the guy that the form player to go in. He unluckily, I mean, he can't catch a break. Hey, he finally gets a break. He catches a break, but then he can't catch a break because he injures himself. And apparently, he did it. Dylan Walker, he did it. Not Dylan Walker. Dylan Edwards, my bad. Sorry, that's the FOMO kicking in from the Warrior stuff. But apparently it wasn't actually at training. It was actually happened post-training. He was doing some extra work, you know, because he was so pumped for this game. He was doing some extra work and he injured his hamstring there. And so that's how he did it. So that's just, you know, you got to feel for the guy. You got to definitely feel for the guy. And what are you supposed to do? Like, this is to the Queensland people out there. What are you supposed to do? You have to replace him. Who do you replace him with? I know they've got, you know, like some other players in there, you know.
They've got two halves on the extended, you know, like they've got two halves on the extended bench, so neither of them are going to work. Obviously, they could put Crichton there, but then they'd still, Crichton. But then they still have to figure out who's playing centre. They probably have to play, you know, Isaiah Yeo or maybe Chuck Otukamanu out there. No, Otukamanu. Olakawatu out there, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think they've made the right decision. A very handy person to be able to just, you know, call up. I think, but the Roosters will probably be pretty disappointed. But in saying that, I mean, the Roosters had Joe Manu there. They still had a pretty much, not quite a full strength team. They're missing Crichton, obviously, and Lindsay Collins, and Suwali. So a few outs for the Roosters, but I just thought they'd be a lot better. But Cowboys, a brave performance from the Cowboys, so they're definitely going to be one of those teams where I said it before, they could beat anyone in the comp, but they could just as easily lose to anyone in the comp. So they might just, you know, I think that if they're going to stick around, they won't be any further up than sort of 7th or 8th. But I mean, there's going to be some good teams miss out on the 8 this year because there's just too many good teams in the comp. So it's not. I mean, it's good that the Warriors got those couple of wins and then come up the bye, but we're going to have to we're going to have to win games from here because there's plenty on the line. If we dropped another couple of games in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think we'll be and just, you know, if we get a bit further away from those other teams, it's going to be struggling. But John, you called at the start of the season, every home game sold out, and what is it?
I told you.
Not till next weekend's the next one, and the weekend after that as well. The Roosters and the Storm, and they're both sold out as well. So, look, it's just the bandwagon, you know. Like, all of a sudden, you know, everyone was sort of getting off the bandwagon. We have 2 good wins, have a bye, refreshed. Origin period comes, and everyone's up and about. When you called it, I doubted you. I did. I thought, you know, no one's going to turn up to West Tigers game, but I think they probably will at this rate. So, fortunately, we didn't make a bet on it. But if we had, I think you'd be collecting there.
We should have done that. Otherwise, you'll be doing an undie run right now. But anyway, it's awesome to see, and I think the difference is whether you're a bandwagoner or not is the fact that with league, you know, you have that sort of culture, that sort of there's a term for it. And I just had a blank moment in my head. I had it in my head, and I just thought at the moment, you know, it's like a tribal, you know, you follow a team, you know, deeply, no matter what, which is kind of like, you know, most of us from who've been doing it since '95, and you stick with it, and they do it. And I guess when it comes to sport in other sports, like probably in here in New Zealand, probably the next best team that does that is probably the Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Phoenix will probably be the next best team, and you expect like rugby union to be up there, but I don't think they have that kind of sort of tribal sort of fan base. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. They sort of thing.
Well, even if you go watch like a All Blacks game, there's no atmosphere there. Like it's sort of like the All Blacks are winning, everyone's up and everyone's happy, but as soon as they start losing, everyone sort of starts bagging them, and the media gets all like the media gets on them, and it's just like useless, worst All Blacks team we'll see next amount of years. So it's a real rugby union thing in this country, is that I suppose because the All Blacks have been so good for so long, people sort of expect that, but as soon as they start dropping off, people are very quick to sort of jump off the wagon. But I don't know what it is about league and league fans. I suppose it's sort of like AFL over in Australia as well. It's just like the club thing's so huge, and everyone gets the memberships, and everyone's got the merch and all that. I mean, the Warriors jerseys must be selling through the roof at the moment, because last few home games you look in there and there's not that many older. It's all these crisp new jerseys everyone's wearing. It's great to see.
It's you're right. I think the right word is what you use is the word club, because when you have a club, you have kind of like a sense of belonging. Does that kind of make sense? Whereas whether you're a player or not, you still have a club where you have a sense of belonging, where you can become a member, and you have all those these benefits, etc. Like clubs in Australia, for example, like rugby league clubs, and I don't know about AFL clubs, but they have their own little restaurants and bars, and like casinos, things that they got going, sort of thing. And so you can go and enjoy a game on a game night, in their headquarters. So not like their office headquarters, but so headquarters where they've got a mixture of like restaurants and bars and stuff like that, and entertainment as well. So you don't really have that here with rugby. It's only recently where rugby union changed the term in terms of like Super Rugby Pacific teams from franchise to clubs. So now they're now recognized as clubs and stuff like that. And it's so hopefully that will change as well. I mean, like, it was good culture there when I was at the Canes as well and stuff like that. The players there are great, great bunch of guys and stuff. They deserve all the accolades that they've been getting, and kind of hope that they get more like the rugby league do. But I think that's the difference. Is I think rugby league has that sort of club tribal sort of engagement there, where people like feel proud of being part of a club. And I think with the whether you're a bandwagon or not, it feels the same way. Except for the fact that if you're not a bandwagon, if you've been there loyal for a long time, you get angry at the bandwagoners for what they do when they jump off and then jump back on. So like me, I get really annoyed with that sort of thing. Yeah. So.
As long as they keep coming back, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just thinking we do have an Origin game tomorrow. We just touched on it briefly. And I think yesterday, last week you called 3-0 to your Mighty Maroons. We've seen the teams, we've seen the sort of the chat throughout the week, and are you still sticking with it 3-0?
Okay, well, look, I mean, when I said 3-0, I was being a bit of a smart ass, and then saying that, but I still think they'll take it out. If it's not, if they don't have, I mean, I think it's pretty even, the squad, in terms of talent. It's pretty even across the board, both teams, but I think areas like for example, with Reece Walsh, etc. Those, I reckon they will be the sort of the key factor in changing the game. But I think there may be 2-1 to the Maroons. I think New South Wales do look good, and to be honest, because Mitchie Barnett, I mean, he's not in the 17, but he's in the squad. There's a part of me that wants, just for his sake. And this is again the whole club thing, be feeling a sense of belonging. He's part of the club. You want him to do well. Everyone's happy, whether you support New South Wales or Queensland. You're happy for him because he got in. It's a big deal because he plays for the club that you love, sort of thing. So yeah, there's a part of me that wants, I want him to play, obviously, but because he's in there, I reckon it'd be nice to have New South Wales have one game at least, but I'm only giving them one. But yeah.
Will it be tomorrow night? Is it at Accor Stadium?
No, it won't be.
I think I don't think they've sold it out, which is a little bit concerning. I think there's still a few tickets left. So
That's
it's a
quite
good
a few. I
stadium
think
though.
the
You know,
prices.
prices, yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
have been to an Origin game there. I think I went 2017, maybe. Yeah. It was a Jonathan Thurston's. I think it was his final game in the end. The game where he did his shoulder, but he sort of kept on playing,
Yeah.
nailed a conversion from the corner. It was just like we started off so well, but yeah, I mean Thurston, one of the greats. So hopefully the game doesn't play out like that, and someone sort of runs away with it. But no, I think the Blues will get up tomorrow. It's pretty tight. I was having a look at the odds before it. It's relatively tight. Queensland are slight Brits, but they should have the home support. The one thing that concerns me probably is sort of the more I think about the team is the bench and just not having that utility cover. There's been a lot of talk about, whether Burton they might do a little Andrew Webster and sneak Burton in the last minute, but I think it sounds like Madge has been quite firm on that. So yeah, I just hope, I mean, I don't know if you remember that game. I think it was either last 2 years ago when one of the centers went down, and then Damien Cook was in the centers, and it was ugly, So and even then he was there as a utility, but yeah, I mean, I just worry that if we had a half go, who comes in? Is it Cameron McInnes? Is he your half cover? And if so, that's a little bit worrying. So
Yeah.
But no, I think the Blues have got it. I'm just praying that we stay fit, and but there's some great matchups to look forward to. Teddy versus Reece Walsh. There's obviously a bit of it's kind of this experience versus these new guys. It's DCE versus Nico Hines, Dearden and Luai should be a good one to watch. Plenty of excitement there. So
I prefer to see Walsh versus Luai like last year. Bring back the Biff, I reckon. But
couple of hot heads.
Yeah, exactly. So if New South Wales are going to win a game, I'd rather be a game 2 or 3 where Barnett comes into the 17. So that's what I'd rather see. But yeah, well, speaking of you mentioned doing our Andrew Webster. Let's talk about the team for this coming Saturday. It's so we've had no game to review, but we've got a game to preview, which is the Warriors versus the Cowboys, and the Warriors are on a bit of a roll now. 6 points from the last 3 games, except for one of them was a bye, but still, we'll take it. It's got us back into contention again, maybe 13th on the ladder, but we are still just 1 point or 2 from the top 8. So with the way the season's going, anything can happen. Just a couple of wins could easily jolt us, right back in the top 8 very easily. So also obviously with other results as well. But let's go over the team. We did actually. I had an embarrassing go at picking the team last week, and I just missed out on a lot of players. But it just goes to show the depth that we have at the moment.
When everyone's fit.
Yeah, when everyone's fit. That's right. When everyone's fit. So I had to go and I stuffed that one up. If you want to see it, you can check out the reel on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. But so that was embarrassing. But we've had another go at this, and we've got our teams in. We did this before the team was named this afternoon. So should we go with your team first, and then I'll go with my team, and then we will read out the actual team. Go over the game.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll just bring it up. I sent it to you, didn't I? There we go. Yeah, so I had Nick Klokstad, DWZ, Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey, Montoya, Tamari Martin, SJ, because I thought he'd be back.
Yeah.
Fanua Blake, Wade Egan. I had Mitch Barnett in the front row, but he's been moved out. I had Jackson Ford, Kate Wah at 12. He's moved to the and then I had Toho.
Yep.
And then I had Harris Tavita on the bench, Dylan Walker, Maracha Nukore, and Tom Ale. There's my four bench players.
Not bad. And my team, as I mentioned to you, was very similar, except for my bench was different. So I had pretty much your whole 13 with Chance, Dallin, Berry, Pompey, Montoya, Tamari Martin, SJ, AFB, Egan, Barnett in the front row as well, Ford, Capewell, and Tohu rounding up the second row in the lock there. But the difference with my team was that I had instead of Harris Tavita in, I had Tavanga in. Had Tavanga in mind. So those are our picks for the week. But obviously, there's the actual team. The actual team. So this is the actual team that Andrew Webster has picked. It is Chance at fullback, Dallin on one wing, Montoya on the other, the two centers, Rocco Berry, Adam Pompey. And at 6, Harris Tavita stays there. So does Tamari Martin. So SJ is not coming back in. I think it was said that he would come back this round, but no, he's not. He must still have a little bit of a niggle there, so it's fine. The way that Tamari Martin's playing, it's all good, I think. Fanua Blake comes back from his little stand down there. Wade Egan's back as well from concussion. This is the big interesting one. Jackson Ford comes in at number 10, front row, to pair with Fanua Blake. And, well, it's going to be interesting because, Jackson Ford does a lot of running with the ball. But, I haven't seen him do this. I would have thought Corey would have been the person to go there at number 10 rather than Jackson Ford, because Corey comes in at 11.
Or Barnett, both of them. Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised about that one. I wonder whether there's going to be a
that's the thing.
Switch around there.
That's the thing with Andrew. When you see the Tuesday team come up at 6 p.m. New Zealand time, that's not necessarily going to be the final team. It's just them putting a team out just to keep the NRL happy, because those are just the deadlines. You're obligated to put a team out, a team list. You're obligated to publicly name a team by that time. So I think that's just them doing that, because you've got Corey at number 11, 12 Mitchell Barnett, 13 Tohu Harris. So I would have thought Jackson Ford would have stuck to his number 11, and Corey would have gone to the front row. Like, you would think that would be the obvious choice, but no, he hasn't done that. So I'm actually not sure what his thinking behind is. I think no one would. I think everyone would be a little bit shocked by that. But I don't think it'll be the final team. But the interchange. So Dylan Walker, Jazz Tavanga, picked that one right. Tom Ale and Kurt Capewell. So got that one. So that's the bench there. I think last week when we were talking about this, I didn't think Lussick had done enough to warrant himself a place in the side. And I thought Roach was good, but I think he's injured, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But I think when it comes to Wade Egan, if it's possible, because it is possible he might get injured, because he just tends to be injury prone, especially of late. I think Jazz Tavanga would cover the hooker area, which he's done before. He has done that, so I think he would be used to cover hooker, or Harris Tavita goes into number 9 and Walker goes into 6.
Yeah. It is dangerous with Egan. We've talked about it a lot. Not having that sort of hooker cover, and I know that Jazz has done it before, but he was sort of a bit of a different player to what he is now. He's probably a bit slower than what he was. Same with Dylan Walker as well. I think they've sort of cemented themselves as very good, sort of playing that bench role, coming on, bringing inserting some energy and sort of just like punching above their weight big time. But I'm surprised to see them. I am surprised to see them both on the bench. I love them both, and I don't hate it, as long as they can sort of bring that energy. The Ball brothers, as they were affectionately known, sort of last year. Just with the depth that we've got, but maybe with a few of these sort of few niggles going on. And surely Capewell is he's an 80-minute second rower, isn't he? I'm not quite sure about. Maybe they're just sort of easing him in. Maybe he's still,
Well, he was playing a bit of a crowd. Yeah, I think he was playing games not 100%. And maybe this has been good for him because
I looked at his minutes this year. He'd played 70 minutes one game. He'd played the whole 90 in the Manly game, and he'd played 80. Apart from the game that he went off injured, it's the Knights. He'd played 80 every other game. So I think throughout his career, I feel like he's been more of sort of like a. So maybe that could be the switch. Maybe they'll bring him in and just as a real, mess with your head. but I don't hate it. There's a sense
I'm a fan.
about Jazz and Dylan Walker.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan
If they
because
can bring that energy, that's what. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
and Jazz has been playing well over the last couple of games, and Dylan Walker for me is like the utility of the NRL. He's amazing. He can play. We've talked about this so many times that how amazing he is at any position where he can go in. He can cement himself into a position and just do it. Not so much like not with ease, but do it with flair. Just do it well. And I think also like the carries he takes as well. Not only can he get in the halves and do that area, but he can also get into a forward. He just can play a forward role as well. I think Dylan Walker is honestly definitely for me is the greatest utility the season at the moment for me. I think he's awesome. That's not being biased. I just think that any team would love to have a Dylan Walker, on their side. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't believe this will be the final team. I really don't think it'll be the final team. I think you'll see a lot of switches, if not on game day on the Friday before we have to do it. It's hard because I didn't think Lussick would be there. I thought Bunty would still be there. I did think he would still be there, but he's down to been the reserves now. Tuapiki, unlucky, misses out because it's so unlucky for players like Tuapiki, who every time they come on and when they're needed, they shine. They shine and they can't even get on the bench. It's so unlucky for players like Tuapiki because it's hard for the Warriors as well because you've got such a stacked team and then you can't do that. You can't cater to everybody, but then there's another team out there that needs someone like a Tuapiki, and they'll be circling. Especially he's done enough to prove himself. He's done enough in the short amount of games he's had. He's done enough to prove himself that he's capable of this level and doing it really well, defense wise and attacking wise. So I think I'd love the Warriors to keep him, but if he's not playing first grade regularly by next season, I don't know what will happen for him. I don't think being at the Warriors would be the best thing for him, sort of thing. Because
I don't know what the backup plan is with him at the Warriors. Whether he could go with he could probably. I think he's played a bit in the halves. He could probably play on the wing, but he's probably a little bit small to be a wing, to be honest. So I wonder whether it's like Chans, moving Chans around, but I think they made it quite clear that Chans is the fullback. It's his jersey. So he'll be
as well,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he'll when he's back, we sort of touched on it last week, but there'll be a few more headaches next week, I reckon.
Yeah, but, I think though, when we were in a form slump, guys like Adam Pompey, the player that people would love to have a dig at last season. Even I had a few goes thinking, what the heck, what's he doing? I think he's been great. I think he's just done it not in a way of flair. He's just done the job. He's just gone about, done his business, and everyone's just noticed that he's just done the job really well. His kicking, far out, has won us games. His kicking has won us games as well. And yeah, I just think he deserves to be there. And good on him, good on him after all that flipping the crap that he sort of that came at him last year. Good on him for just sticking to his game and doing it and showing what he can do. Good on him. If he's listening, Pompey, we love you. You're doing an awesome job. But that's the team. So again, for the 10 millionth time, don't think this will be the final team list, but they're playing a Cowboys side who are full of Origin players, but they're not all coming back for this game. But they still have a good team. So who are they missing out?
They're all on the extended bench.
Yeah, and
they'll probably come back.
Yep, they'll probably come.
Yeah, I think they have to. Basically, they get like a check on Thursday, I think. Yeah. So I imagine after they have that check, Todd Payton will make the call, but they've got because it's on Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, so it's like Thursday, Friday. So they've got 4 days to recover, so that should be enough. There's a couple of guys who have been named to play on Friday night or maybe on extended benches on Friday night. Definitely some guys in all the Broncos players are back, I think. So and they're playing the earlier game. So it'll just be a matter of maybe Todd Payton's been watching Andrew Webster with his little switcheroos and thinking, oh, two can play at that game, Webby.
Yeah. But this is obviously what it's not no surprises. Like you've got all the Origin players on the reserves bench and just looking to see how they go after post Origin, to see if their body's capable of coming out, running out on the field and 4 days later. Because Origin, I mean, you've never obviously played it before, but you don't have to play it to know that it's a tough arena, and your body gets bruised and battered very easily. And I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing none of these guys come and play, but at the same time, you don't want the Warriors to be complacent, thinking, "Sweet, those guys aren't coming back. We're playing this depleted team," because that's why the other teams looked at us recently when we were injured. You don't want to do the same thing. You don't want to do the same thing. So, but it's still pretty good at the moment. If you look at this 1 to 17, you got Drinkwater, who's awesome. Drinkwater at fullback. Probably missed out on the Origin. Missed out on Origin there as well. Kyle Felt. Not sure who Jackson Purdy is at centre. Viliami Wailia. So it'll be a game against his former side.
Ex-Wars player,
Yep. Braden Burns, Jake Clifford, Chad Townsend, former Warriors as well, player twice actually. Went into the Warriors and then came back for a short stint in the halves.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if Jake Clifford was named again, to be honest. If Tommy Dearden stays away, that'd be a nice little touch.
Yeah, he's a handful, Tommy Dearden. Jordan McLean, Sam McIntyre, Griffin Neem, Kiwis forward. Who's this? Helam Luki. I'm not if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Excuse me. Helam Luki and Kulikipu. I don't even read his last name.
I think it's Finefiaki.
Finefiaki. Yeah. So again, apologies if we're not pronouncing that right. And who else we got left there?
Thomas McKaylee.
Oh yeah, Thomas McKaylee and Tom. And the interchange: Tom Chester, Harrison Edwards, Jamal Shibasaki. Sorry, my bad. And Jason Tomalolo. Man, I'm doing bad with the pronunciations today. Sorry. That was one thing I had to do when the carries. We had to make sure we had all the pronunciations right for the media. But my bad. But I wouldn't take them lightly, even though they haven't been doing well this season. And if they go in and run onto the field with a depleted team like this one, I still wouldn't take them lightly, because that's what other teams did with us, and look what happened there.
Yeah, and look what the Roosters probably did to them last week.
Yeah.
So and the Roosters, they end up in the Roosters. So yeah, I'm not going to look too much into that. But yeah, I mean, I suspect there'll definitely be some switcheroos. But if there's not, then also more than happy with that. I was just having a look at the stats before. We've played 47. These two teams have played 47 times.
Yeah.
The Wires actually lead at 25-22. And they've kind of had the better of them. Better of them recently, I think. Yeah, they've had it. I did have it up before.
Yeah.
I just had a look before as well. Yeah, and there's an article on the Warriors website about Johnson, just saying they're just giving them an extra week. I mean, why would you stress too much about coming back when we've got, I don't know, a good half pairing who can I'm sure they can play another week. So
Te Maire Martins has proven himself, the last couple of games. So it's not like there's a concern there, like they had to rush him back in. So not a bad decision in my eyes, in my view. I do. You're talking about head-to-head.
Why's won the last?
Yeah, we may have the better of them,
they've won
but
the last two.
They've got
at least.
Yeah. And they've won a title. We haven't. They've won a premiership. We haven't. So that's the one thing they have on us. But that's going to change soon. Looking at the team,
they also have Chad Townsend, so it's going to be an advantage for us.
Yeah, fair enough. Looking at the Warriors side, who in your opinion, who do you think, when you're looking at that side there, needs to step up? Because a lot of players have stepped up, and done pretty well and have been consistent throughout the season. Is there any player there that you see that needs to, prove to not just the coaches, obviously, but just to their fans that they should be there, because there's obviously a lot of players knocking on the door.
Oh, look, I think it's Fanua Blake for me, to be honest. I think after last week, he got stood down. I'm glad to see him back there. He's been, I think he has been our best this whole season, our most consistent. Just been, so many meters. He's got so many dimensions to his game. And when you talk about standing up to the fans, I think not because there's any doubt about his skill, but there's obviously doubt about his commitment to the club potentially. There was a lot of rumours swirling last week saying, we might be letting him go early, which I hope we don't do that. We might, he's a good player. He's an amazing player. So he'd be the one for me. And just looking through the back line, I mean, everyone's kind of had their moments recently. I hope that probably I look at Dallin actually after his little stint on the wing, in that Dolphins game, and his stint at fullback in the Dolphins game, where I thought he was brilliant, and he looks like a new man. I think he looks really flat this year at times. But he was full of energy in that game, some big meters in. I'll look at Fanua Blake is for giving something to the fans, and I just want to see Dallin back up strongly from that performance at fullback. Who have you circled?
Like yourself, it's pretty hard to point someone out specifically because they've done pretty well. I think like for example, Rocco Berry done really well all season. And I think he's making. I think he's up there for the tackles per game on the NRL list, and not just the Warriors list. But I'm talking about the NRL list here. But I think if I was to pick someone, I see what you're saying about Adam Fanua Blake, and I think you're right. He's been probably our best, but I think just the attitude change just to show us that he's committed, because there were a lot of rumors swirling, and that's the thing. Yourself and I working in media and stuff, and things like this. I put this on our Facebook page when this came out. I said until I see a source saying that this is happening, just wait and see what happens. Because people were saying it's going to happen. Some people say nah, it's already been done. And people who are apparently insiders, and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, well, you can't fool me, mate. It's like I've been doing this for a long time in terms of media. Until I see that media release, by someone, and with when you've got Fanua Blake's management saying no, he's not going anywhere, committed, and you've got the CEO coming out saying that, and trust me, they don't want to be saying those sort of types of things, and then having egg on their face later, like a week or two later on. So a good media manager wouldn't tell them to just say this just to keep everyone at bay. You don't say that sort of thing. Because otherwise you look stupid after. So I just think that I always thought that it was just rumors, and it looks like that's the case, because otherwise it would have been done by now. And good thing to know here about, like you said, with Adam Fanua Blake, is that on game day last week he was at the gym, working out and stuff, getting his body ready for the next game, which is awesome. So I think Webster was saying that he's really happy with his just his attitude and taking it on the chin, and then getting himself ready. So I think he'll be here. I think he'll honor his contract for the rest of the season. But I'm looking at that lineup. The person I think that probably needs to, if I'm just going to pick one, is probably Kurt Capewell. A big fan, so excited when he was signed, to come over. And the good thing is that he's actually saying he's loving it in New Zealand, which is awesome. They've already bought a house apparently in New Zealand and stuff like that. So he's here to stay, which is good. So I just think that he needs coming back. He's been injured. We know how good he is. He doesn't have to prove it. We've seen how good he is in terms of over his career. Just needs to start doing it more often on the Warriors on the Warriors side of things. So I think he's someone that needs to just step up a bit, but more than capable. So hopefully I didn't see his interview, but I saw snippets of an interview he done. He looked really happy and stuff. He was looking good in a good positive way. So I think expect some good things from Kurt Capewell.
Love to see that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. As I said earlier, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Well, I questioned him on the bench. I think he is a starting player, and maybe that's why he's been put on the bench. Maybe they've just, sort of said, you've got to step up a little bit. And this will be his chance to. Did he play for the Cowboys? No, he's played for the Cowboys before. He's played for a few clubs, hasn't he?
Yeah, Broncos was the last one. So
yeah. Sharks, Panthers, Broncos, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add on that game?
No, just looking to get rid of the FOMO, that I had over the weekend. I'm sure I wasn't the only Warriors fan that had a bit of FOMO, but there were some good games to watch. That's a good thing about the NRL at the moment. There's some good games to watch, and obviously Origin tomorrow. So just looking forward to Saturday and looking forward to another 2 points. If we get another 2 points, we're putting ourselves in a really good place. I mean, I know it comes down to other results as well, but as long as we keep winning, the back end of the season will be in a good place, because, like you said, teams start to drop off. The Dolphins did this last year, where they started really well, then dropped off. The second half of the season, they're sort of kind of doing that right now. The Dolphins. So
yeah.
I
suspect that they won't stay fourth for too much longer.
No. Yeah,
I'm just thinking about, because I think this game is really important, because we've got the Storm and the Roosters next 2 weeks, which are not going to be easy games, are they? So, if we were to get one win out of those two, we know our record against the Storm. So we don't. We've got the Titans in between. Titans in round 16, and then we've got the Broncos. Sorry, round 17. So, and then we've got the Bulldogs away. Yeah, so we've got some tough games. If we were to get 2 wins, 3 wins out of the next 4 games, that would be ideal, especially with how cramped that ladder is. So,
yeah,
let's go, boys.
Yep. Hey, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. That plaque on the wall, that's new, is it?
Yep, it was a birthday present from my in-laws, actually. So I tried to put it up above the mantelpiece in the main lounge, but my wife wasn't. It was obviously her parents that sort of gave it to me, and she said it had already been discussed that when it was given to me, it was going in the office, which I'm fine with. It's good to have it here, or be able to. This is where I have my work meetings, so I'll be able to make sure it's in good view of my work meetings. But nice. They bought it from the Martin Fair, the Martin Harvest Festival Fair.
So is it just some sort of someone just putting something together and not copyrighted or anything?
Oh, probably not.
What's it made out of?
50/50 50/51 works, or CNC works.
It looks awesome. What's it made out of?
Just wooden.
Oh, it looks like steel.
No.
It looks steel.
Just the silver bits. Oh, maybe.
Oh, that's amazing. I want one.
There. Yeah, I'll find them. Yeah, 50/50 CNC works. I don't know what that means, but if anyone out there wants to get one,
maybe you should contact them. We give them away. Give one away.
Yeah, as I say, if you're watching on YouTube, we might be able to get some giveaways there.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I mean, my wife would be the same. I wouldn't be able to put in the lounge. I wouldn't be allowed, so I'd have to put it up in the office as well. But I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think it's.
We'll see when your birthday is, and we'll see if we can get it. But it's nice to have some Mars merch here. I've got plenty of jerseys, and I've got hoodie and jacket and all that, but don't have that much. I don't have posters or anything to sort of put on the wall. So it's nice to have something there.
Right, because we didn't have a game to preview. Let's just go into this. What is your favorite jersey? What would be your favorite jersey? Over the years.
I think just I've got the 90. I think my one's 96, but just the original.
Yeah, I like the original.
The 95 green, the green and blue. Obviously the away strip was pretty fire that year as well. The white one.
I like the white. I was going to say I like the white one. Yeah,
they've remade this year, but I'd probably go with the OG. Also love the O O2 jersey
the
as well.
black one with the blue sort of V sort of type.
Yeah.
Puma, yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
there've been
Puma,
some great jerseys, but I mean, not it's not because it was their first jersey. It's because I just thought it was awesome. The white away jersey I thought was pretty mean. I like it. It's like when the All Blacks when they have an away game they play in like the white jersey. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, I like the white one too. Yeah.
For a guy like me, I spill sauce on everything. So, if I was to have that white jersey, I'd have to put some sort of I don't know, to have how you can get that leather spray for your shoes. I have to get something like that for my jersey. If there's anyone out there who offers that service, let me know, because I did like that that I love that Heritage one when it came out, and it was awesome to see that it sold out very quickly. But should we have a look through the tips for the week?
Yep, go for it, mate.
Just so we had have a quick look through last week. So we had the Eels beating the Sharks. You picked that. I was on my Sharkies.
Yeah.
Bulldogs down the Knights. Unlucky John.
Yep.
You had the Knights there.
I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, okay. Yeah.
Amazingly, neither of us picked the Dragons to upset the Panthers.
Yep.
I had the Raiders. Thank the Lord for Jordan Rapana and his two field goals. He's been a real not a revelation. It's not the right word. He's been around for a few years, but he seems to he's having a great season. So
they want him back.
Surely. You'd be silly not to, wouldn't you? Especially with the injuries. They have so many sort of injuries and missing, your playmaker, and the two young fellas getting in there, and then Jordan Rapana steadying the show at the back. I think I was two or 3 weeks ago. I was watching the games, and the commentators talking about him. I think it was Bossy, and was saying he's just the most sort of like well-rounded footy player in the league. Like, he just seems to be he's really good under the high ball. He's got pretty solid speed. He's got good passing game, obviously good kicking game. Like, he's just a real well-rounded player. So
can be disciplined at times though. But
absolutely,
I agree.
And he's got a knock on him or two, like if he's not on, but when he's on, good to have. And then the Cowboys upsetting the Roosters to round off the week, which neither of us got. So that puts me on 61 and you're on 57. So I've just snuck, got one more back out in front of you. So
flipping Knights. So what the heck was I thinking that they would do something good when I know that they're pretty most flipping bullcrap team in the I'm not even going about it. I'm not going to roll myself up. I'm not going to roll myself up about this, but embarrassing. If you're a Knights fan, apologies, but it was bloody embarrassing, and they think it too, because on the game when you're watching it, the crowd were leaving in droves. They were leaving. They were showing it as well. It
was at McDonald's Jones Stadium, Knights home game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the weather. Talking about the weather before in that Dragons game, but the weather was also not great in that game. Right, look forward to this week. We'll start with Origin. We'll add Origin into it. I'm going to go my Blues to get up.
Might as well put a difference in there. Just it's the difference. 1 to 12. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll go Maroons. 1 to 12.
1 to 12. Then Friday night we've got Dolphins host. The Dragons hosting the Tigers. Hunt, Sewer, and Lomax are all on the bench, extended bench, so it would probably just depend on how they come out. But so it's hard to pick from here. But I think the way the Dragons are playing, it's hard for me to back them. So I'm going to go Dragons. Oh, the way Tigers are playing, sorry, it's hard for me to back them. So I'm going to go Dragons.
Yeah. Well, the Dragons, they were out. They were out of some of their player stars went in there last week. When they won their game.
Dragons, Ben Hunt wasn't there, Sewell wasn't there, Lomax wasn't there. So.
And they did pretty well. they did pretty well. So I'm sticking with them. I'll stick with the Dragons as well.
Nice. Titans hosting the Bunnies. a big talking point there is probably just looking at the Bunnies halves with Whiten into 6 and Walker out to 7.
Not a bad pairing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think they are both like real 6s, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Foran's back for the Titans, and Jaden Campbell's on the extended bench. So it looks like, I imagine if he sort of turns out to be fit, and Tanner Boyd is as well. So if either of those two sort of end up being fit, they'll probably be thrown back into the lineup.
Yeah.
So, but I like the Rabbits. I think they would have a bit of confidence from that win over the Eagles a few weeks ago. Bit of a rest, and Latrell will be out to prove something. So I'm going to go the Rabbits.
Yeah, I'll go Titans. I think the Titans they're a dangerous team, and I think they've been unlucky, and they've won some good games, but they've also been unlucky as well. And the game against the Broncos, for example, they showed what they can do, and it's a scary prospect because I think they're just behind us on the ladder, and I think they'll make a surge up into the top 8. I really do think that, and you were talking about the Rabbitohs being the Eels, but the Eels have been rubbish. I mean, they played good last week, but that's because they got some players back. Gutherson and Mitchell Moses all come back. It shows you how much a player can make a difference. Just like, for example, Nathan Cleary jumps back into Penrith, it'll change things for them as well. It's not based on one player, but one player can make a big difference in the entire side. So that's what happened with the Eels, and they look pretty good, the Eels, with those guys on board. But I think so for me, the Rabbitohs game against the Eels still doesn't prove to me what they're still capable of, but I'm going to give it to the Titans.
Okay. Yeah. Titans. There's only if some of those players aren't back, there's only so long they can keep competing with some other teams in the comp. I think they've been hurt by the injuries, but they've done right. So good luck to them.
I hope they don't win in the sense that in terms of points in the ladder. But I just in terms of who I think are going to win, I think they will win.
Yeah, fair enough. Both on the wires, I presume.
Yep, 1 to 12.
Both 13 plus. Even though the Warriors don't win 13 plus, so I'll back it.
Yeah,
Broncos Sharks. I can take a guess where you're playing. I think Carrigan, Mam, Haas, and Walsh are all named for Brisbane. So yeah, providing they're fit, they'll be back in. Hines is out. Hines is out for the Sharkies, but I think McGuinness is in. Tig Wilton is out. He did. I'm not sure what he did. Maybe his shoulder. His AC joint, I think. Yeah. So he's been really good for them this year. So I think they'll struggle. And the Broncos, providing everyone plays, they'll just do what they do and entertain their home crowd.
Yeah. Broncos. I just think I think the Sharks are pretenders, big time pretenders, and I don't say that in disrespect. I just say it in just pure honesty. I've said it, and I've said this for a while, as you know. I just think that they've had a good run, but they can't keep. They're not consistent enough. So that's why I think they're pretenders. But along with Newcastle, so yeah, Broncos for me.
Nice. Storm Knights. Storm at home, paying $1.20. Actually, only really affected by Harry Grant in Origin, I think, and he's named to play.
Yeah.
And this game's on Sunday at 2 p.m. as well, so he's got the extra day to recover.
Xavier Coates is named as well.
Oh, Xavier Coates. Yeah, of course he is Xavier Coates as well. Yeah, but he's there. Pappenhausen's still a few weeks away, and Matt Munsters I think isn't back till about round 19. So Wishart sits in that 6 jersey, and Hughes. Yeah, he's playing great, and Hughes is obviously there as well. So yeah, I mean, obviously the Knights beat the Storm earlier in the year. It was an atrocious game in Newcastle, and I think it basically went down to golden point or close to. But I don't think they. Yeah, I think the Knights after the weekend. It'll be hard to give them any have any confidence back in them. So yeah. I presume you're also with the Storm.
Yeah, Storm. No, I don't think I'll ever back the Knights, to be honest.
Learn your
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. Should have learned it a long time ago, but yeah.
Panthers Seagulls on Sunday Arvo.
Oh,
And Penrith, I don't know. They I think they bounced back really well. We saw it happen after
yeah,
they beat the Warriors.
yeah,
Seagulls, I don't know. They just they're one of these teams that are just really hard to get a really good gauge on. I've found this year, but no, I'm happy to back the Panthers.
yeah. Nah, I mean, to be honest, you don't want to be the team that plays the Panthers after they just got beaten. They give it to you. they give it to you big time, and yeah, no, I think the Seagulls are unlucky there because they're gonna take that rap from the Penrith Panthers. To be honest, but yes, I'll give it to Panthers.
Nice. And to finish it off, Monday game because it's
Yep.
King's birthday this weekend in Australia. Got the Bulldogs and the Eels. So the Eels obviously Gatho and Moses back. And it looks like a different team, to be honest. And the other week, that right edge was firing. Moses was everywhere.
Yeah.
But this Bulldogs team, they seem to be winning games and winning well. Also not neither team affected by Origin. The Eels are slight favourites, paying $1.70, but I'm gonna go for the Doggies, to be honest.
I'm going with the Eels. As we spoke about the Eels, for the last few weeks, Dylan Brown was playing 7 because of Mitchell Moses being out because they had no one else to replace him, which is pretty bad on their depth. They've got so much feeder clubs. Not just like in terms of pathway games, they've got feeder clubs as well, and they just couldn't find a number 7. So they had Dylan Brown, but he was just. I just don't think he's a number. We've said this before. He's not a halfback. And you put Mitchell Moses back there, let Dylan Brown do his thing at 6, and look what he did. So I think that combination there of Mitchell Moses and Dylan Brown is just going to wreak havoc on the Bulldogs. I'm sorry, I think that's the way it's going to go. I think the Bulldogs just played a really don't think they were bad or anything. I think they were good, but the Knights were just horrendous. And yeah, I think the Eels will bring them back in their lane. I think.
Yeah, but I think the Bulldogs have done that to a few teams this year.
They have.
They did it to the Dragons the week before. Obviously beat the Roosters. So I wouldn't be sleeping on the Bulldogs. Obviously haven't played finals footy in a long time, but this is the closest they've been in a while.
Yeah.
So they won't give up on their dreams that easily.
I'm not saying they're going to get a hiding or anything. I just think the Eels will win this one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Yep.
I think you just said, didn't you just say the Eels were going to win by lots?
If I did, sorry, but I meant like, did I say that?
I think something along those lines. I think you implied it was going to be the Eels big time. I think.
I think the Eels are dangerous. Is what I'm trying to imply. With their players like Gutherson and Moses back, and Britt and Dylan Brown back in position. So if I said that, my bad. But what I mean is like I just think they're going to be a dangerous side. They're like take those players out like how it has been over the last few rounds, and I think they'll lose to any team. To be honest, the Eels they were just woeful, just like the Knights. But now those players are back in, and other players in playing in the right positions. I think you saw what they did, over the weekend, and they were great. It wasn't like fluke rugby league; it was actually clinical rugby league they played. So it's like it's scary because if they play like that all the time, they'll beat most teams, or they'll be right out there anyway. So I think they'll beat the Bulldogs. And if I said they're going to smash them, okay, you know what? If I said they're going to smash them, I'll stick with it. They're going to smash them.
I was going to say, why don't you just go with it? If you're that keen on them.
I didn't think I said that. I just think they're going to win because I think the Doggies have been playing well, but I don't think that Okay, I'm just digging myself a hole here, so I'm just going to just say,
Let's just finish this. We've had our fun. We've got a few games around the opposite side of for the week, so it'll keep us. Someone will be winning tips this week.
Yeah, no, good because I need to catch. I mean, I'm slowly catching up on you, but yeah.
You're not because I'm still 4 points ahead. So,
but you're way ahead of me like for a while though, right? You were like 8 points.
Oh, only by like 6, maybe. Not way ahead.
I told you though, but you by the end of the season, I will be crowned as the tip winner. That sounds really bad. It sounded really flipping bad. I'm bad with my words tonight. Far out. Anyway,
Cool it in, man. We've had enough.
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
We've lost
Because
it.
yeah. Nah. Sorry, my apologies to everyone. Just for context, families had COVID this week, and even though I didn't get it, obviously feeling some interesting effects on my brain. So anyway, let's wrap it up tonight. Thanks everyone for joining us. It's good to be back and talking about the Warriors after a bye. But where are they playing this weekend at?
It's not called 1300 Smile Stadium anymore, is it?
Yeah, no. Again, my brain was just going from
Queensland Bank. No, what's it called?
Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
That's it.
5:30 p.m. Australian time, 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time. Thanks for all your support, everyone. Honestly, we really appreciate it. We're getting more and more support, so this is why we love doing this, and we're thankful for it. Just pretty much want to say that. But also, when you get a chance, spread the word about us and like and subscribe as well to all our channels. We're on YouTube, and where else, mate?
Spotify, Apple, and find us on social as well, on Facebook and Instagram. Is the Coach is on Facebook, unfortunately. I still need to change that.
Yeah, we need to change the name completely, I think. But we'll figure that out. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you on Saturday. And we'll see you next Tuesday to talk about the hopeful Warriors win on Saturday. Okay, let's wrap it up. See you later, guys.
The world.